In today's Warzone 2 video, we're taking a look at the top best loadouts right now here in the mid-season update. There are some minor changes that actually came down to a lot of the weapons that you guys could be possibly start using as of right now. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, leave a like on today's video and let's hop right today's loadout for them. The first gun we're going to be talking about is the ISO hemlock, and of course this is my build to help you guys out. I still feel like this is the best long range meta as of right now. Comment down below if you guys think there are some secret assault rifles or LMGs that people might start using here in the season 3 update. It's going to be coming out in a couple weeks. So starting off with the first attachment, for my magazine, I'm rocking a 45 round mag. For my next attachment, for my underbarrel, I'm rocking the demo firm grip. What does this help us with your aim and eye stability, your hip fire accuracy, and your recoil stabilization. For my tune for that, I'm leaning towards my recoil stabilization with the 0.54, and of course my aim and eye stability, why I see maxed it out. My next attachment for my muzzle, I'm rocking is the Harbinger D20, why I see help us with your bullet velocity, your damage range, your recoil smoothness, and for the tune for that, I'm maxing out my recoil smoothness, and of course maxing out my bullet velocity. My next attachment for my barrel, I'm rocking the Fiddle T50, why I see help us with your damage range, your bullet velocity, your hip fire accuracy, and your recoil control. For my tune for that, I'm almost leaning towards my recoil steadiness with the 0.15, and of course max out my damage range. And for my final attachment for my optic, this all purpose up to you guys, but of course for me, I'm rocking this the aim op V4, and for my tune for that, I'm maxing out my flash resistance. This entire class up is really good for like the long range scenery. As you guys can see, like literally like 0 to no recoil. I do understand that these are mostly like dummies, and I always like to test out these recoil controls, especially for like the fire range, to help out a lot of people, because I know even for most of these builds, a lot of people don't be testing them out or showing you guys in the fire range of how these guns actually do work. Now let's move to the next gun for it. For my SMG peoples, I have is the Vaznev 9K. I do feel like this is the #1 SMG that a lot of people are going to start using after the mid-season update. A lot of people are still using the Fennec 45. It doesn't actually hit the same, but the Vaznev, and especially this entire class up I'm going to give you guys, is by far I think it's one of the best ones. So for my magazine, I'm rocking the 45 round, of course. For my rear grip, I'm rocking the Demo X2 grip, which actually does help us with your recoil control. For my tune for that, I'm maxing out my aim and down sight speed, and of course my sprint to fire. My next attachment for my stock, I'm rocking this the Orchard stock, which actually help us with your aim and walking speed, and of course your sprint speed. For my tune for that, I'm maxing out my aim and down sight speed, and of course my aim and stability. My next attachment for my laser, I'm rocking the Olive laser, which helps us with your aim and down sight speed, your aim and stability, and your sprint to fire. For my tune for that, I'm leaning towards my sprint to fire as maxed out, and of course my aim and eye stability as maxed out. And for my final attachment for my underbarrel, I'm rocking the SHARKFIN 90, which actually does help us with your aim and eye stability. And for the tune for that, I'm leaning towards my aim and down sight speed with a negative 0.36, and of course my aim and eye stability with a 0.14. And legit, I'm telling y'all, this entire build is really good for medium and close range, especially for good for ADS speed for any of like your like fast engagements. I know like a lot of people, they like to have on, of course, like the barrel and of course like the muzzle to help out, but especially for this entire build, like look, like if you actually like look at this, like the sprint of fire is literally crazy for this entire build, and for the recoil control helps out like a lot. Like of course like the long range type of fights will probably get like a little bit iffy, but like of course like the medium range, like this recoil control for it can help you out a lot. Now let's get it right into the next gun. My next gun I'm using is the Cast-Off 7.62. I actually feel like this could be the second best assault rifle that a lot of people need to use. It's really kind of hard right now, especially for like the assault rifle category, to pick like what are some different ones to use, and the Cast-Off still hits like crazy, and especially this is more of like a good player build for the recoil control. It hits like a tank at medium and long range, but you guys gotta learn how to control the recoil, especially for this build. So for my first attachment, my rear grip, I'm rocking the Demo X2 grip, which actually helps with your recoil control. For the tune for that, I'm maxing out my recoil steadiness and my aim and eye stability. My next attachment for my optic, this is like I said, all preference on what type of optoscope you guys like to run is really no difference, but of course for me, I like the rock the CRONEN Mini Pro. For my tune for that, I'm actually leaning towards is my aim and down sight speed with the negative 0.58. For my barrel, I'm actually rocking the IGK 30 406mm barrel, where actually does help us with your recoil control, your bullet velocity. For my tune for that, I'm leaning towards my recoil steadiness with the 0.40, and of course my damage range with a 0.40 as well, with maxing it out. My next attachment for my underbarrel, like I said, this is all the difference where I feel like this could be like the best underbarrel. But I really do feel like the Demo Firm and the Ripper 56 are by far my two best ones. And the Ripper 56 helps out a lot with the Cast-Off for any of the long range fights, because the Cast-Off is more of like a little bit of a kick to it. And it helps out with your aim and eye stability, your hip fire accuracy, and your recoil stabilization. For the tune for that, I'm of course is maxing out my recoil stabilization and my aim and stability. Like I said, really good for long range fights. Now, for my final attachment for my magazine, of course, you guys gotta rock the biggest mag for it, and it's the 40 round magazine. And of course, if you guys want to see how it actually does look like in shoot in the firing range, like look at this, right? Good for close and medium, and especially for like the long range fight. Look, that recoil control helps out a lot. So like I said, if you guys want to learn how to control the recoil, especially for the cast off, man, you gotta learn how to control the recoil. And I feel like this is the best barrel and of course the best attachment for it to help you guys out. And it still hits like a tank even after the update. Going back for my SMGs again, we're rocking this the Lockman sub, and of course I got is by far I think it's like a good movement class setup to help everybody out. I know for majority of these class up and guns, especially for like the SMG categories, people like to put on all like the heavy hitter attachments, but that mobility, especially if you're trying to get like crazy situations, you can't move because you're moving like a turtle running around the entire map. So for my magazine, I'm rocking, of course, this is a 40 round mag, of course, to help you guys out. For my stock, of course, I'm rocking this the stockless mod. This is all purpose zone if you guys would like to rock, it's the stockless mod, of course. It actually just helps us with your aim and sight speed, your sprint to fire, your movement speed, and your hip fire recoil control. But I know it's a lot of people like the rock because, of course, it's the mobile stock, and the mobile stock actually helps out a lot with it, that as well. But of course, you guys would like to run around a little bit more faster with this. Now I do know that recoil control at a medium rate is kind of like jumps a lot, but it all depends if you guys want to worry about mostly is movement or of course the recoil control. Now my next attachment for my laser, I'm rocking is the VLK laser, where I see this help us with your aim and sight speed, your aim stability, and your sprint to fire. For my tune for that, I'm leaning towards my sprint to fire with the negative 0.31, and of course my aim and stability, we're maxing it out. My next attachment for my barrel, I'm rocking is the L38 Falcon barrel, where I see this help us with your movement speed and your aim and sight speed. But most of the time for people, they will always recommend it's like the M sub 12, but of course, like I said, this is really good for any of like the long range and the medium range fights for the barrel. But I really do feel like your movement is more of like an important standard for the MP5 because it helps out a lot. Like I'm telling you, like there's a lot of people that would tell y'all some wrong, like give you guys the wrong builds for this. Now for the tune for the barrel, I'm of course maxing out my aim and walking speed, and of course maxing out my aim and sight speed. And for my next attachment for my underbarrel, I'm rocking the LOCKGRIP Precision 40. This is actually a really good underbarrel for any of the SMG categories because as you does help us with your hip fire accuracy, your recoil steadiness, and your aim and walking speed. So think about this as it's really good for up close, recoil control at medium range, and as he does help out with your strafing with it. Now for the tune for that, I'm of course bumping it up a little bit for my hip fire recoil control with my 0.08, and of course max out my aim and sight speed with the negative 0.40. And here's the MP5, and of course in the firing range. So like I said, man, like you guys gotta think about it. Like a medium range, the MP5 is gonna be good, and of course up close. But of course, like I said, them long range type of fights like right here, yeah, it's not gonna be as efficient. So it's all depends on like if you guys want to cause his movement speed, or if you guys actually do care about like look how fast I'm actually moving around in the firing range. Like I can move around pretty much as fast as quick as I can without having like all them big old attachments on all like the 50 round magazine, the biggest barrel, the muzzle, all of that. I don't need all of that on, and you guys can see it still kill fast as it can here after the mid-season update. And that's it for the meta loadout. So if you did enjoy the video and want to find your way back to the channel, leave a like on today's video to push it out to more people. Hit the subscribe link as a brand new to have the post notification bell on. And I'm telling you, man, listen, I dropped this a crazy 37 kill gameplay with the #1 meta loadout that you guys seen in today's video. If you guys actually can, just gotta be click on the screen as of right now. See you guys in the next YouTube video.